What's up, everybody? Tim here. We've got another technology video instead of fishing. As you guys saw in my last video, I had a little bit of a problem with the GoPro Hero 8. And here's my replacement. I got the DJI Osmo action camera. So we're going to do a quick unboxing. I did a couple accessories for it, of course. New 128 gigabyte SD card and GorillaPod. Never had one of those. Let's open it up, take a look. Whoop. 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 All right, a memory card's a memory card. I'm not too worried about that one, so I'm just going to set that aside for now. Let's get right into the actual Osmo action. Now, again, this is one of the ones I was going back and forth on when I was looking at a new action cam for my fishing videos. I was between this and the GoPro Hero 8. If you didn't see my last video on the GoPro Hero 8 and why I returned it, be sure to go ahead and take a look at that one. I'll try to set up a card in the corner so you can take a look at that. Try not to tear this box up too much. But all in all, basically just wasn't working out for me. So I've had an eye on this one for a little while, so I swapped it out and grabbed it. So let's open it up and take a look. A lot smaller package than, of course, the GoPros. Has a large package that it comes in. So specs on here, just so you have it, it does have dual screen, so it's a screen on the front, it has the same 4K HDR. It is waterproof, 4K, it's good to go, should be solid. It does have the same GoPro type mounts, so the action cam mounts, it's a frame that's on the Osmo action. It does have a little bit of an activation process, which is a bit different, but hopefully this one will work out a lot better. So let's take a look. Presentation is everything, so I do like that. I'm a little bit of a packaging nerd. I love the way and the thoughts that people put into this stuff. So here's our camera. Right here, it's looking great. Front screen, rear screen, touch screen. Quick switch mode. Down here, I do like I can take this out to charge it from my battery bank. It's like the microphones are exposed over here. So this looks like the standard double clasp setup for the frame. And we'll drop that down. Let's pop this camera out and take a look. I'm always worried about popping it out too hard the first time around, so I'm trying to be careful. It is a snug fit, which is good. So battery's not in there, memory card's not in there. For those of y'all that love that, try to get this nice and close. Ready? Oh yeah. Peeling everything off here. And on the back, one more. Love that. So obviously it uses a lot more screen real estate. The quick switch button is to switch between the different modes on the camera. Of course, you have your power, display switch, and record button here on top as well. This is just a quick release for the battery on this side here. And I believe that's also a lock. Well, it's two of them. So yeah, you'll have to have both of these to unlock the battery, which is great, and a spring at the bottom. And then this piece here is for the memory card. Yep, and charging. And then this door also, if I remember correctly, comes off. Yep, there it goes, comes right off. So I'm happy about this door coming off. It's one of the things that I couldn't do with the Hero that I'm hoping to do with the Osmo Action. Let me just slip it back into the frame here to show you what I mean. Is that I can now use my power bank. So I can plug in the charger right there. Yes, it's not waterproof at this point because these are open. But for what I do, having everything else kind of be able to waterproof except for that is perfectly fine. And I can always pop that door back on again. So happy about that so far, but let's get this back open. Let's get the battery out and let's power it on. So far I'm impressed. I like the plastic on here a little bit better. It's kind of more gripping material. I like the larger screen. And I'll just really kind of like this setup for it so far. Let's get the rest of this open. Take a look here. What's in the goodie box? See what's underneath there. Oh, that's one of those silica packets. I'll throw that in my tackle. Help keep it dry. Always wondering which side does the box open. There we go. It's curved mount, like we see in a lot of the GoPro stuff. see here, here's my charging cable and screw. There we go. Flat kind of locking mount, which is interesting. That's what is neat if I remember correctly. Yeah, these ones just have a little twist on here. Quick release. So you can pop that off, switch it over to a new spot, and lock it back in. I'll have to see if I can make that work on this GorillaPod setup I got. I didn't really think it all the way through, but that's fine. And of course there's a bunch of paperwork in there too. Nobody reads that stuff. I believe this is just a battery case. Yep, there's our battery. So the outside of the camera is actually attached to the battery itself. So let's go ahead and give this a go. Satisfying little click and a red light, which is always good. Let's have a memory card slot in here as well, which is handy. All right, so I've got my micro SD card here. I'm gonna go ahead and get this loaded up as well, just so we can fire this all the way up. Looks like it goes in upside down. There we go. And just so we have everything here, and take a look what else is in here. Of course, battery cable, charging and transfer cable, really, which is USB-C, which is nice. And then the thumb screw for these. It looks like that's the standard M5 size, as with everything else. All right, so let's focus on the camera itself here. And really, let's just go ahead and let me pop this back on so I don't lose anything. And let's turn around. Da-da-da, there we go. Basic setup. Now with this one, I'll go ahead and skip this for now. You do have to activate it with the app, which I'm not too terribly excited about, but that's okay with me. I believe it is the 30th. And I am just gonna set this real quick. There we go. So does tell me I need to activate it still, because I can skip it 4 more times before it's on there. There's all my different modes. Video modes, photo, and the custom mode that I can set up, which is awesome. Let me just go video. So swiping down has all of my settings. Definitely has some more screen room here, which I'm enjoying. This is where I can enable, disable rock steady, work through my FPS and resolution here for any type of custom setups that I have as well. So let me just try all this kind of quick stuff. It's on auto mode. Looks like I do have a manual mode that I can change the actual ISO and shutter speed, which is pretty cool, just in case I want to nerd out later. SD card is currently empty, of course, which is nice. So a quick starting of the recording gives me my total time up there in minutes and seconds. Screen looks very responsive. This is looking good. So to switch to the front screen on here, which is pretty handy, I'm going to press and hold this quick switch button. And now we've got the front screen, which is pretty nice. You can see my GoPro Hero 3, which is my old camera, and my light setup here, and of course me, which is pretty nice as well, that I can frame out that shot by the front cam. So I'm really enjoying that and that setup. It does show on here, hopefully, and you can see this here. It does show me the, of course, time, battery, and camera settings, and the mode that I'm in here as well. So I really like that I can switch that around, make sure it is where I want it to be when I'm taking my shots. So it's looking good so far. Of course, I'll have to take some example footage on the house and see how it works in low light and high light and in different areas as well, and give it kind of its run through. But overall, I'll tell you, I'm pretty impressed with the camera out of the box. I know some people were concerned a little bit about the frame. I like the idea of a frame for me to put the camera into. I also like that I can remove that side door. I'll go and leave it on there as is for now. It came out of the box with enough juice for me to use it for a while as well, which is nice. I need to stop turning it on and off because I've only got 2 more skips there to be on there. So it's pretty good. It feels like a very sturdy camera as well. And I do have to say, I like that this is removable. It's on there pretty tight right now, so I'll have to mess with that later. But I like that I can replace this as well as put on some lens filters for different things throughout while I'm shooting. So I did also get a Gorilla Pod for this, just so I can get it out and about and do some things that are a little bit different. So let me just open that up real quick, just in case you haven't seen one of these. Let me pop this open here. And it does come with its own little screw as well, of course, well wrapped in plastic. So I'll borrow this other one here for the moment. So again, this is on the same type of rail setup that all of the GoPros and pretty much any other action camera out there is using anymore. So I'm excited about having this little setup here, as I can do a lot of things with it, set it up a lot of different ways. And especially with this being more of a waterproof cam, I can even set it up on the docks as I'm doing some fishing, which I think is pretty handy dandy. So that's my initial impressions of this Osmo Action. I'm pretty impressed so far. Again, I had the Hero 8 and it was a great camera. I just had a lot of problems with it connecting to my computer. Their support was really lacking. I couldn't plug in my battery bank, which is what I prefer to do instead of switching batteries. So I'm hoping that this is going to be a lot better for me. So stay tuned. Of course, we'll see it in our videos or in my videos coming up. This will be my primary camera if all goes well, and should be pretty good here going forward. So now that I've unboxed the Osmo Action, I thought I'd take it outside a little bit and take a look at how it performs in one of my favorite areas, which is the woods. This is actually just a nearby nature trail that I have in my particular area. It is extremely windy today, so I came over here as a little bit better wind protection. And I really just want to put the camera through its paces. Now I currently actually have the camera with the Gorilla Pod mount attached to a tree. So I'm hands-free at this point. It's attached to a little sapling here, so I can just have a conversation with the tree, which is always fun, right? So right now I've got this set up 2.7K, 25 frames per second for more of a just general kind of vlogging or face-to-face setup. A lot of these I'm mirroring off of what Alex shared, Oklahoma's worst angler, as far as his setups and shots. Now his, of course, is on the GoPro Hero 8. I'm on the Osmo Action instead. Both phenomenal cameras from my point of view. This is just the one that's a little bit better for me personally. So let's run this through the paces. I think I'm even going to put it in the water here after a bit, which makes me a bit nervous, but let's see how it goes. Some example 4K 30 frames per second with rock steady on, just to walk through the woods. I do like that I can put this thing on a tree. That's pretty cool. I think it's pretty gray here today. I wonder how it does with these clouds. You got little spots of blue up there that are coming through. And of course the sun's starting to peek through a little bit. Battery life seems to be doing okay so far. As does camera time. Looks like we have 140 minutes left. Put the camera upside down and started recording. I'm double checking to make sure the door and everything is still on it. And let's go for our first water test. This makes me nervous. It's still on. Wind test. So we've got my voice, we've got wind, as you can see, and the brush here. Of course, the sound of the highway nearby. So what are my observations and thoughts about the Osmo Action as a camera for my particular YouTube channel? So far I'm impressed. Of course, it doesn't have the issues that I had with the Hero 8.
as far as connecting to my computer, so it doesn't mess with my workflow there at all. Just pick up kind of right where I left off it all. It does have a little pop-up screen. When you plug it into your computer, you have to hit OK to basically say, yes, I do want to connect it. It is waterproof. I can charge it on my battery pack while I'm out and on the go. The little door is replaceable, so I can just pop it off. When I pop that off to plug in the battery pack, it only exposes the USB-C port, and the memory card does not expose the battery. That's a completely separate compartment. Image stabilization looks to be pretty dang awesome, but that looks to be pretty dang awesome on all cameras. I absolutely love the screen on the front of the camera that actually shows me what I'm shooting and if I have everything in frame, which is handy for times like this, because I can walk around and make sure that I'm still in the dang picture. GoPro does have such a wide angle of view though, it'll capture it as well. Again, like I said in my GoPro video, I'm not dogging on either one of the cameras. I just know for me and what I've tried in my experiences, so far it seems like the Osmo Action is a better camera for me. But much like fishing, folks, different things work for different people. So keep that in mind. If you're curious about trying to get out there and grabbing a camera to get started with anything you've got. I mean, I'm not doing a whole ton of lot yet, but I started with just my old Hero 3. You probably get those for pretty cheap, and they work. You can start with your phone. It works. I had a chance to pick up a new camera. It's an early Christmas present from my wife. We tend to just buy this stuff and say, hey, you got this for me for Christmas. I've been married a while. It works. So that's what's working out for me. Now, it is getting into the winter time, so as a heads up, you are going to see probably a few more gear type videos from me than just straight fishing. I will be trying to get out and get as much fishing done as possible before everything freezes over. I do not yet know how to ice fish, so we'll see. Maybe I'll learn that one this year. Something I kind of want to learn alongside with somebody else. Should be fun. But I do have a few other things coming up, including a mattress for my car to do a little bit more car camping to get out to probably some warmer spots in the winter, as well as a roof rack that I've recently purchased. Remember, if you can't get outside in nature, as I am today, bonus if you can get a pole in the water. Not today for me, but that'll be coming soon. Even in fall, even when everything's dying off, it's still absolutely gorgeous out here. Go outside and enjoy it, my friends. Take care of yourselves.